following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi everybody and welcome to Vibrant Living and welcome to La Bella Vita Cucina. First off, I'd like to say thank you to GM Roth for the use of their beautiful kitchen here today so that we can make you guys an amazing, amazing dish. So today we're going to be doing chicken piccata. It's a very simple dish, very delicious, and definitely a winner to have at lunch or dinner. So first off, I have our pot of boiling water here. We're going to add a little bit of our salt into our boiling water just to season up our pasta that's not really seasoned. We're going to add a little bit of our extra virgin olive oil so that our pasta doesn't stick when it's time to eat it. I'm going to go over a few items here on my ingredients platter. So we have our pappardelle pasta. You can have fresh pasta that you buy in the grocery store that's not in the box, but that's in the refrigerated section of your grocery store, and that cooks within like 2 or 3 minutes. Really nice to have on hand for this dish. I have some dry pappardelle pasta that I got at a gourmet shop. So all different shapes and sizes of pasta. It's basically whatever you'd like to have. We're going to be using some shallots, which are actually a little bit sweeter than onion, very tender for this dish because it is an elegant dish. We're also going to use some lemon juice, some lemons that are cut up. We're going to be using some garlic right over here, some Pinot Grigio. We're also going to be using some capers. Now, there are a handful of ingredients that can really add life to a dish. In my opinion, they are lemons, vinegar, capers. So capers are usually found in the Mediterranean area, and they are very flavorful pickled buds of a flower before the flower opens. So we're going to be using some of that. It has a little bit of a similar taste to perhaps a green olive. You can add as much as you like or as little as you like, but it really does make the dish in my opinion. And as you all know, I usually have a nice fresh arrangement of beautiful flowers to accompany us here at the kitchen. But today I have some flat leaf parsley that I'm going to be incorporating into the dish as our last ingredient, and I figured it looks so pretty that we actually didn't need to get flowers today. So let's get started here. So again, our water's getting ready to go here. We also have some all-purpose flour, and we have some organic chicken breasts. Now, I would prefer you buy the thin sliced organic chicken breast. If your butcher doesn't have them available or your grocery store doesn't have them available, you can just get them thicker breast and use your meat mallet to kind of thin them out and pound them out so they're nice and tender. Because again, this dish is very simple, delicate, elegant dish. You want to make sure that your chicken is nice and tender. So to our flour, we're going to add some cracked pepper. Season that up a little bit. All right, and some organic sea salt here. And that's wonderful. So what I'm going to do then is just kind of mix that up just a little bit as we're going to be dredging our chicken. All right, and at this time, let's get our saute pan going here. We're going to turn on to like a medium heat. Let's see here. There we go. And we're going to add and coat the bottom with some extra virgin olive oil. So we're going to coat that. A couple of tablespoons is great. And we're also going to add a little pad of butter. And with our butter, this is going to kind of make the dish a little silky and smooth. And before I dredge the chicken, I'm going to cut up 2 pads of butter that I'm going to actually dredge in our flour. And we're going to save these to the side for a little bit later on to help make our dish nice and silky and smooth. So I have our butter. Just going to put them on a little plate here. There we go. And we're going to save those guys for later. All right. So our butter is starting to melt here, and our olive oil. We're going to get our pan nice and hot. Again, a medium to high heat works great. We're going to start dredging our chicken. So we're going to take our chicken breast. Again, it's a nice thin slice of chicken. And we're going to just shake off a little bit of the excess flour. I'm going to put that to the side since our pan is not quite ready. Let's get all these pieces dredged. And again, this dish really is minimal fresh ingredients, doesn't take long to make at all, and it really is a winner. All right, 2 more. Usually can get in one package about 5 or 6 thin pieces. And if you can, buy organic chicken as much as possible. It's not laden with hormones and things that can affect the health of your body. So if you are going to invest in a meat, I would do definitely organic chicken, or if you're actually be using meat at some point, definitely grass-fed is healthier for you. Okay, so our olive oil and our butter, nice coated bottom here. I can hear the sizzle of that. And that is wonderful. So that we're going to put our chicken in 1 piece at a time. And when you can hear the sizzle of the oil when the chicken is put in, that is what we want. If the olive oil is not hot enough, we don't want the chicken to just be sitting in the olive oil, soaking it up, because then it tastes too oily. So we're just going to give a little shake. Put our chicken in here. 1 more. Good. That looks good. So it's just going to take a few minutes for our chicken to start cooking. I'm actually going to add a little bit more pepper. And again, a little bit more salt. Okay, so it'll just be a few minutes here. Make sure we have a good flame going here. So after we get our chicken nice and brown, we're going to just lightly brown it. And it will cook rather quickly because it is a thin piece of meat, which is nice. So if you're coming home from work and you want something healthy that's made at home that you don't have to go out for, and you know what's inside your food, this is a great dish to make as everyone's kind of freshening up when they get back home and very hungry after a long day. Something satisfying. So again, you can serve this with the pasta, or you could actually serve it with a vegetable. You could serve it with roasted vegetables or roasted potatoes even. And I was actually thinking of mashed cauliflower. I think instead of pasta at the very base of your dish would be actually really light and wonderful, something different. Ooh, nice sizzle here. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but we are making progress. So we're just gonna lightly brown the chicken. Check underneath. Oh, it still needs a little bit more time in here. All right. So again, one of my favorite ingredients to work with are capers, olives, lemons, and vinegar. They add amazing flavor to your dishes. I would love to have a lemon tree. I think that would be a super thing to have, but I'm not sure if they can grow where I live. So I'll have to just get my organic lemons at the grocery store. And a lot of times too, when you're at the grocery store, you may notice that there are little stickers that are on your fruit or on your vegetables, and it has a little number code at the bottom. If it starts with a 9, that means you're using organic produce, and 9 is the best to get if you can. Buy organic products as much as possible. If it starts with a 4, it's usually conventional. Sometimes the items are sprayed or they're locally grown. So just a little tidbit for those little stickers that kind of get annoying to peel off your fruit sometimes. All right, so we're doing great here. Let's turn these guys over a little bit, nice and lightly golden brown. And I love all the different shapes of the chicken. Some pieces are long and other pieces are a little thicker. But, ooh, there we go. Nice, turn that right over. Wonderful. This one's a little thicker, so it's going to take a little bit longer to cook. That works for me. Everything's cooking awesome. I'm just going to give our pasta water a little bit of a stir to incorporate that olive oil that I see floating at the top here. Kind of speed up our process a little bit. As we're stirring, these water molecules are just starting to boil like crazy. Very good. And I've done some prep work ahead of time, and you can do it as well. I always like to store things in little glass jars or containers that have lids rather than plastic. It's a little bit healthier option for you. So if you even wanted to prep it the night before, say you were coming home, you knew you were coming home late, and you wanted to get dinner going really fast, you could prep the night before, and then all you have to do is just start adding your ingredients to your dish. All right, we're getting there. Give it another little flip here. And if you have a thicker piece of chicken, you may want to just grab a knife, kind of poke into it, and just gently along the grain of the meat, give it a little cut and spread it open here to see if it is cooked inside, because the last thing you want on this amazing dish is undercooked chicken. So again, it's so easy and so delicious, and it is a classic dish, let me tell you. And if you've never ventured to try it and you've heard of it before, give it a try. Okay, so our chicken looks fabulous, so I'm going to take a clean plate. And anytime that you're using a plate that has chicken on it that's raw or raw meat, make sure that you wash your hands after you touch your dish. You don't want to have any of the bacteria on your hands, like cross-contamination. Okay, so we're going to take our dish and we're going to take our chicken, plate it right on here, some lovely pieces. This looks fabulous. And here's a fun-looking piece. I want this piece. Okay, so we're going to put that right over here. We're going to lower our flame down just a teeny bit. There we go. Now, we're going to add some of the next group of ingredients. We're going to add in our shallots. So I have one big shallot over here that I've cut up and chopped up. You can put it in any size you want. If you want it diced or if you want little thicker pieces, that's completely fine. So we're going to put that right in. Next, we're going to add our garlic. We're going to kind of add and shake around these shallots a little bit. Incorporate some of this butter and olive oil so they get nice and brown and translucent. Be another minute here. Our pasta water is boiling fabulously. I'm also going to add in the garlic. Here we go. You want to work fast with the garlic because the last thing we want are brown bits of garlic. Okay. Smells amazing. Make sure your shallots are nice and tender. Give a little shake here. Smells so good. Okay, next we are going to add our liquids. We are going to add in our wine, which we are adding in half a cup of Pinot Grigio. Then we're going to actually put a little bit of our butter in. Just a little bit more flavor. And we are going to add our chicken stock. We're going to be doing 1 cup of organic chicken stock. Now it looks like a lot of liquid right now, but don't be alarmed because it is going to reduce down. So now we're going to let this simmer and reduce the liquid down by half. So let's a little bit higher there. And in the meantime, while that's doing its thing, our pasta water is boiling, so I actually am going to add our pasta in. There we go. I'm actually just going to break it in half. And if your children are around, this is always a fun part for them to break the pasta in half. Good, and we're going to just add a little stir in here. Oh, the wine smells amazing. We're just waiting for that alcohol to evaporate off. It smells so, so good. I think anytime you add wine to something, it just adds an amazing flavor. It makes the house smell so good, as do the onions. So give a little stir. This shouldn't take long to cook, probably about 8 minutes. That works for me. Okay, we'll just give a little stir here to our liquid that's starting to reduce down. Wonderful. Okay, so what we're going to do is just kind of wait a little bit for this to thicken up. All right, so we're going to add the chicken back in. As you can see, this doesn't take much time at all. You're going to have a super elegant meal. All right, so with the chicken added back in with all its juices. Yum, yum, and here's my funky piece right here. Wonderful. Then we are going to add in our 2 pads of butter that we dredged in the flour, and this is just going to add a little bit of thickness to the sauce and create like a silkiness to it, okay? So it's going to turn out to be quite luscious and very smooth. And let's see if we can spread that around, spread it here. It'll thicken up a little bit. Okay, what we're going to do is kind of give our pasta a little stir. Looks good. And we're going to add in some of our lemon juice. Okay, so I'm going to do probably about 1/4 cup of lemon juice in this dish. So I'm just going to pour it right in. Again, adds nice flavor. It's going to start to reduce down. And our capers. So our capers come from the Italian word capriolare. Sounds good, doesn't it? And that's a very flavorful bud of the flour. So we are going to add, like you can add as much as you want. I really like capers a lot, so I'm going to add a good amount of them. I'm going to strain off a little bit of the water right in here. Probably just put in a handful. Again, it's this little salty, kind of like a green olive. And I think the word means jumping in the air in Italian, so I'm jumping for joy because I love capers. It's so good. All right. Give a little stir here. Our sauce is getting nice and thick. Boiling away. Let's lower that heat down just a little bit and kind of give it a nice little bit of time to simmer. Now, anytime I make a dish with lemons or lemon juice, what I kind of like to do is add some chopped up sliced lemons into the dish. So we're going to add some of those. So it looks really beautiful as well as add some great flavor. And there's a couple here that have some of the pit and the seed in here, so we're going to just kind of remove that a little bit. We don't want anyone eating those. And they can be all different, sizes. You're going to use a whole lemon, so you'll have some that are whole round shape. Smells so good. Looks amazing too. There we go. And one of our last ingredients that we're going to add is going to be some fresh flat leaf Italian parsley. Add a little more green to the dish. Okay, and this pasta looks amazing. Very good. So let's take our flat leaf parsley and clear up some of this. And I happen to love parsley, so I'm going to break off a nice handful. We're going to give it a rough chop. smells so fresh. And it's hard to believe that our dish is pretty much done. You can't go wrong with parsley. It smells so fresh, so pretty, vibrant colors. We don't want our pieces to be too big. All right, so we're gonna add in the parsley right into our dish, right here. Again, it's a one-pot dish for preparation, except for the pasta, so this is easy cleanup. Talk about a wonderful meal to impress your family and friends. Again, it's a classic dish, so if you've never tried it, please take the time and try it. You are gonna love the flavor. All right, our sauce is nice and thick, so that looks great. Let's check out this pasta. We're gonna turn it off gently. Let's see, it's a little bit hot. We're just gently gonna take our strainer up. There we go, and this is great because it's 2-in-1. Give it a little shake. And we're not gonna rinse the pasta because again, we want our sauce to stick to it and not slide off. Okay, so I'm gonna actually just place it right over here and grab our plate. And we are ready to plate. So we're gonna take a little bit of our pasta, our pappardelle pasta, beautiful ribbon-like. Put a little bit right on our plate right here. Oof, that looks so good. And I have these lovely little lunch plates. To make this lunch or dinner extra special, I always like using really beautiful plates. Okay, so we're gonna take a piece of our chicken, capers. Let's get that piece that I wanted right over here. And let's take a lemon. There we go. And we're gonna take some of our juice, some of our sauce, and spread it right over the top. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And there you go. So we have our lovely, lovely, delicious, easy lemon chicken piccata with pappardelle pasta. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching Vibrant Living and La Bella Vita Cucina. See you guys soon.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.